All right. Thank you again, ladies and gentlemen, for joining us for today's Dragon webinar, Reducing Paperwork Challenges with Speech Recognition. Just a few housekeeping items I want to go over before we get started. First, all attendees have been automatically placed on mute. Today's session is being recorded, and a link to that recording will be provided to you via email, typically within 24 to 48 hours. If you have a question, you can submit it using either the chat or Q&A panels you'll see within WebEx on your right-hand side of the screen. You can submit those questions at any time during the presentation. We are going to hold those and answer them toward the end of the presentation. If for some reason we don't get to your question, we will have a full transcript of everything that has been submitted, and we will ensure that somebody gets back to you in a timely fashion. Okay, so let's go ahead and get started. Oh, I apologize. One other thing I will quickly mention is that I am joined today by Tom Vane, one of our sales engineers. He is going to take you through that all-important demonstration of Dragon. Before we get to his demonstration, I know you're probably all anxious to see Dragon in action. I do have a few slides that I just want to go over just to prepare you before we do that. Okay, so just a quick overview of what we hope you learned from today's session. First, as the workforce expands and shifts and new technologies continue to emerge, there are going to be opportunities to explore new approaches to effectively serve the community that you're in. And in addition, as the pool of both younger and a more mobile workforce increases, agency leaders are going to have to meet the needs of these groups' abilities to multitask, whether it's at home, in the workplace, or while on the road. And that the use of emerging tools can help agencies better support their workers, but it can also reduce redundancy, increase worker safety, and increase speeds of service delivery. And that these tools can also improve worker satisfaction, thereby allowing you to retain more qualified employees. And that emerging technology not only has the potential to help manage workloads, but also respond to the increasing demand for accountability. And then finally, that speech recognition is an effective way to increase efficiency and simplify workflow processes. And just a quick look at who is in our audience joining us today. It really runs the gamut within an agency environment, from IT managers to those in customer service roles, program managers, all the way up to C-level executives and, of course, department heads. Okay, and then at the end of today's presentation, what we really want to be able to do is engage each of you. We want to talk to you more about the unique department goals and challenges that you're facing, understand your workflow, how are you currently handling documentation and or transcription. Then really discuss the benefits and how Dragon can support your efforts, and then outline some implementation options for you, including our proof of concept. And we know sometime in state agencies, showing proof of ROI before you make a larger investment in something as a software purchase can really go a long way, and that's what the proof of concept is meant to do. Okay, so I just want to talk a little bit more about who Nuance is. So we are actually the company behind making the Dragon software, Dragon speech recognition software. And simply put, we advocate everything that's second nature by simplifying the way people interact with their machines. We try to humanize technology so that doing your job and finding what you need really feels natural and almost effortless. We invent amazing technology that makes everyone easier to understand, and then we really convert burdensome tasks into and workflows into seamless experiences. And you'll find that, in everyday instances that millions of users and, thousands of businesses are really experiencing our proven applications. And in fact, many of you probably don't go a single day without interacting with some form of technology that is powered by a Nuance voice or natural language solution. Could be anything from a consumer technology like a smartphone, a book reader, navigation system, a television, or in the case of Dragon, your desktop computer. You might have also encountered nuance when calling for customer service on your phone, searching for the right answer on a website, or even having a conversation with a specialized customer service assistant. And as you can see from this slide, virtually every leading global consumer technology manufacturer has embraced nuance for powering meaningful voice recognition and natural language interactions. And in fact, as you can also see on this slide, is that many of your peers are currently using Dragon today. And we're going to talk through a couple of case studies, but just to give you an overall sense, anything from the Delaware Department of Family Services that's using it for their caseworkers, to the Alaska State Troopers for their law enforcement agents, the Ohio Bureau of Workers' Compensation, and then finally the Wisconsin Department of Justice. So it really just kind of runs the gamut in terms of what state agencies are doing with Dragon today. Okay, so we're going to get into the heart of it is what would happen if you quit typing and started talking with Dragon. So we know that most processes are largely driven by information, right? Anything from arrest reports and case histories to requests for services and even regulatory compliance paperwork. And in recent years, state and local agencies have been tasked with handling growing caseloads. At the same time, forms and reports covering everything from education and social services to corrections and more now require even more documentation for auditing and accountability purposes. As a government employee, you are flooded with data that must be documented, and probably all too often, you're reduced to taking notes, writing reports, or filling in forms all by hand, and then having to rekey that same information into maybe an online document or another application. You know, just to give you a general example here, according to the General Accountability Office, caseworkers spend more than 50% of their workday gathering and processing data, which potentially reduces the time that they are allotted for home visits and personal interactions with their clients. So what if there was a faster, easier way to help complete this intensive documentation? Well, the good news is that agencies across the country have begun to recognize that access to emerging information technology can boost the efficiency of overtaxed workers. So what is that solution, right? So you've no doubt witnessed the prevalence of speech recognition as an individual, right, with Apple's Siri and, of course, our Dragon Naturally Speaking software. So it's really not hard to imagine the benefits of speech in an agency setting when you consider that speech recognition allows workers to better control how their documents are created and also finalized. And in general, we see that there are three primary tasks most organizations consider speech recognition for. And that's to speed document turnaround, reduce transcription costs, and streamline repetitive workflows. So first, it speeds document creation by letting you turn your voice into text. And then second, it increases efficiency and improves your workflow by eliminating any document development bottlenecks, simply by streamlining the editing and correction process, all without having to change your current business processes or existing information systems. And in some cases, you can even have the ability to dictate directly into a particular application within your agency. So in the case of caseworkers, we know that most of them have a state system called SACWIS. In law enforcement, we find typically RMS systems. And then finally, it optimizes productivity by enabling mobile workers to dictate into either a digital recorder or even your iOS device while on the go so that you can leverage what might have been otherwise, travel downtime. So, what does this all really mean to you, right? It means providing your department with a faster, easier way to complete more detailed and also accurate paperwork. With speech recognition, you really have unparalleled dictation and workflow automation capabilities that enable you to get more done in less time. So it allows workers to dictate using your voice, right, to create anything from reports, presentations, also your email communication, and much more, with up to 99% recognition accuracy. So we know that facing intensive documentation, comes as a part of the job. So when it comes to improving report quality through speech recognition, we know that accuracy is going to count. And Dragon's unsurpassed recognition rates of up to 99% really go a long way toward achieving better report quality. But it also doesn't stop there. We find that the ease and convenience of dictation actually help drive more thorough documentation. But then you can also manage documents, emails, and forms thanks to Dragon's natural dictation, but also its workflow automation and voice command and control capabilities. You can look to accelerate data collection and documentation creation 3 times faster, which can provide up to a 50% time savings per day. And then as I alluded to, in addition, you can dictate notes really anytime, anywhere using that digital voice recorder, or even having a Bluetooth headset. And the ability to do so really allows you to dictate those notes while they're still fresh in your mind. And we find that that added ability also helps to lead to richer content and more detailed reports. Then if we add in the use of voice commands to speed existing service or workflow processes or other repetitive PC tasks, you can find other ways to increase your efficiency, but also reduce costs. So as part of that capability, you can really deploy speech recognition solutions broadly to automate anything from form completion to help reduce those transcription costs. And again, I mentioned this before, but I want to reiterate this, all without having to change your existing business processes or your information systems. What we really just want to be able to do is enhance the services or processes that you currently have in place. In addition, Dragon enables you to add, new words or really customize the vocabulary with any unique terminology, acronyms, proper names, and also analyze an individual's written documents to better update your user profile, again, based on the writing style or any words that you may use. And then last, you can really access information in enterprise applications and websites entirely by voice. So speech solutions help to make any of the Windows applications faster and easier to use, whether you're at your desk or even in the field. And in this way, speech recognition software really can provide accessibility for disabled workers, but also prevent employees from developing repetitive stress injuries. So in looking at this, really text entry is just the tip of the iceberg when we discuss speech recognition capabilities. Additional productivity benefits come from leveraging Dragon for what we call command and control of your PC, and that's to automate any multi-step tasks. We have simple voice commands that allow you to control most basic applications or even, websites. You can navigate screens or menus by voice, simply saying things like open Microsoft Word or create new document. One step further, there are boilerplate commands that allow you to create blocks of text and insert them automatically into documents or emails, again, using it all within a single voice command. So for instance, in an email, you can say things like insert signature. Beyond that, for enterprises, we have what's called macro commands. Now, these provide the ability to speed up repetitive tasks like data entry. So, for example, you can create Dragon macros that allow you to automatically enter specific data or create custom forms, navigate fields. Macros really allow you to perform a sequence of keystrokes or mouse movements to execute what could be, really routine tasks that eat up your, too much of your already limited time. And then increasing productivity on the go is likely a wish of, many government employees, anything from public safety officers, inspectors, caseworkers, and others who primarily work in the field. Spending a significant amount of their time traveling from location to location for, client visits or case hearings or more. So, these mobile workers really need to use their time productively, no matter where their job is going to take them. And Dragon enables these workers to increase their productivity during that travel time or, when they're away from the office by dictating into a digital voice recorder or, or other handheld device or even iOS device for automatic transcription when you return to your PC. This enables you to take advantage of speech recognition, again, anywhere at any time. As a result of this increased mobile productivity, it ensures that time spent on the road or off-site isn't going to mean even later nights in the office trying to catch up on that all-important paperwork. You can use, in vehicle or, what might have otherwise been formerly unproductive time to dictate, notes, reports, and other documents both safely and accurately. So I just want to take you through two case studies. The first is the Delaware Division of Family Services, which is a part of Delaware's Department for Services for Children, Youth, and their families. They're dedicated to promoting the protection, safety, and permanency of their state's youth. And as I'm sure most of you are probably all too familiar, this agency is mandated by law to investigate allegations of child abuse and neglect, and then where appropriate, oversee foster care placements and or provide supportive services that empower families to better protect and nurture their children. So successful execution of their mission depends on efficient collaboration and communication among a network of state agencies, private providers, families, and of course the community. And then, whether the department is investigating child abuse or neglect, coordinating treatment services, placing, children in foster homes, or preparing foster teens for independent living, their job all shares one thing in common, and that's paperwork, and lots of it. So we had one therapist mention that we have a lot of paperwork to complete because documentation is critical in this field. And as far as the courts are concerned, if it isn't documented in our case notes, it didn't happen. So creating that detailed paper trail is important not only for compliance purposes, but for facilitating caseworker research and also enabling a smooth case transfer between DFS units and their providers. So it was this pileup of paperwork that led their deputy director to consider speech recognition as a productivity tool, that would really enable their caseworkers to spend more time helping families and children and less time tied to their desktops. After conducting a one-month pilot in which, consisted of 10 caseworkers, based on the success of that pilot, the deputy director decided to purchase 200 Dragon licenses for all of its frontline workers. And that consists of anything from their family crisis therapists to master family service specialists, regional administrators, assistants, and in their investigation, treatment and permanency units. As you can see from the results here, Dragon allowed them to cut the time it takes caseworkers to input notes by up to 75%. I just want to pause here, 75%. That's huge. And when you're talking of caseworker, if there are any caseworkers on the line today, you know how how much that goes in helping you, end your day or spend more time with the families that are desperately in need of your services. In addition, on top of that, what they found was by using the digital voice recorders in the field, allowed their caseworkers to further boost that productivity as well. Okay, and then just a quick another case study I want to share with you. Obviously, this is with the Cloquet, Minnesota Police Department, so this is on the law enforcement side, a little bit different, but as we all know, paperwork in this day and age with a lot of state agencies is the name of the game. What was unique about Cloquet is that they were relying on 2 of their secretaries to transcribe all of the officers' dictations. So this made it very challenging to complete quality reports in a timely manner. On top of that, they were facing Minnesota's 36-hour rule. And for those of you that are not familiar with it, this says that any reporting delays could result in the release of an individual in custody, and that incomplete reports could also lead to additional challenges in court. So their police chief wanted to provide his officers with a productivity tool to not only speed, but also ease the reporting process. So for Cloquet, they purchased 21 licenses for all of their full-time employees. This gave their officers and detectives now the ability to dictate their own reports into templates, all while those details are still fresh in their mind. It enabled the department to submit more quality reports to the city and county attorney's office much faster than they had ever been doing before. As a result of implementing Dragon, the department was able to streamline its reporting process, which enabled them to submit more thorough reports with unprecedented speeds, I'll mind you. It also allowed them to respond accurately to media and other inquiries because they were doing this through their email communication. But then those 2 secretaries were allowed to be reallocated to other critical tasks. The one other result that we have up here, and this actually came, it wasn't a result that they were expecting, but it was a pleasant surprise to the department. They found that having this ability to streamline their reporting process actually allowed them more time to review and discuss case files amongst each other for improved communication and collaboration. So that was something great to see as well. Okay, all right, so that's probably enough of me talking. What you really want to see is Dragon in action. So at this time, I'm going to hand things over to Tom Vane, and he's going to take you through the all-important demonstration of Dragon so you can see its capabilities in action.
Thanks, Amy. I'm sharing my screen now, and hopefully you can see my screen. I'm sitting at my desk, and I will be dictating documents and controlling my computer just by using my voice and without using a mouse or keyboard. As we mentioned earlier, there are 3 major benefits to using speech recognition that will help you serve your agency better and help you get more done in less time than before. You can talk faster than you can type. In fact, many people can talk up to 3 times faster than typing. You can create documents without using a keyboard or mouse. You could be looking at reference materials or other documents while you're dictating. So now I can create high-quality documents faster with fewer interruptions and distractions. And because I can use Dragon with virtually any application, including Microsoft Office and popular email applications, I can cut my document creation time by as much as a third, creating more value and better servicing my agency. For this demonstration, I will show how you can easily dictate into Microsoft Word as well as other third-party applications. You'll notice the Dragon bar at the top of the screen. This is where you can control Dragon, such as turn the microphone on or off or access various features. The Dragon bar automatically minimizes when I'm not using it, so it's never in my way. Note that during the demonstration, my hands never touch the mouse or keyboard. I will use my voice to dictate documents as well as to control applications. Open Microsoft Word. Set font 18. Dragon Naturally Speaking is the world's best speech recognition product, period. With minimal training, comma, you can receive up to 99% accuracy with typing speeds of 150 to 160 words per minute, period. Dragon also comes with commands that allow you to control your computer all by using your voice, period. Full Dragon Naturally Speaking. Underline 99% accuracy. Italicize 153 minute. Insert after comes with. Hundreds of. Scratch that. Thousands of. Go to end. New paragraph. You can also dictate into other various third-party applications, such as an RMS, CAD, or SAGWIS systems, period. For those of you that need to record your time, we also work with most time management systems as well, period. The following demonstration is an example of what it may look like to use Dragon within one of these types of applications, period. Switch to Google Chrome. Thomas Paine, tab. Youth Initiative, tab. January 13th, 2015, tab. Page down. Arthur is a very bright, intelligent, and outgoing child, period. He is a hardworking student both academically and behaviorally, and cares very much about his academic performance, period. He goes above and beyond to make sure that his grades stay above average, period. To reach his full potential, Arthur needs structure and a daily routine in his life, period. He needs to have set boundaries and guidelines to follow, period. Tab. Arthur has a handsome smile and loads of charm, period. He is initially quiet and shy, however, once comfortable, he will become very conversational, period. Arthur likes to joke around and make people smile, period. He is able to maintain a positive relationship with peers and is respectful and polite to adults, period. He enjoys video games and listening to music as some of his leisure activities, period. Arthur also likes the outdoors and he enjoys fishing and is learning to play golf, period. Microphone off. As you can see, I can fill out each field individually by either clicking on the field or by tabbing to the field. When using Dragon, I can still utilize my keyboard and mouse if I wanted to. Also, on average, email can easily take up 1/3 of your day. By using Dragon Naturally Speaking to dictate my emails, this time is cut significantly, allowing me to process more email and work through the rest of my caseload. Send email to Amy Kress, Arthur Sanchez, tab. Hello, Amy, new paragraph. We had our follow-up visit with Arthur Sanchez today, and it went very well, period. Arthur is a very pleasant child, and I look forward to future visits with him, period. I will have my case details sent over shortly, period. New paragraph. Best cap regards, press delete. Send message. Also, for those of you that travel quite often or are in the field with limited access to your computer and need to use that time productively, you have the option of recording your dictation using a device such as a smartphone, mobile device, or digital recorder, and having Dragon listen back to the recording to automatically transcribe it into text. I've taken the liberty of pre-recording my dictation on my smartphone and emailing it to myself to save it on my desktop so that I can transcribe it with Dragon. I simply go to my Tools menu and choose to transcribe a recording, and I'll tell Dragon to let me choose the window, and then I can browse to locate the file. Here I can choose my recording, which is an MP3 file. We do support WAV, MP3, WMA, DSS, and DS2 files. At this point, I can get my document ready in the background for where I want the text to be placed. Think of Dragon as a second keyboard that you're using with your voice. It's a very point, click, and speak type of application. It's simply going to put the text wherever you put the cursor. In this case, I'll start a new document. I choose to transcribe, and then transcription will start as soon as I click on the application. The transcription process takes about a 1-to-1 ratio. This means every minute of audio takes about a minute to transcribe. With faster machines, we see this number go from a minute-to-minute ratio to a minute of audio takes about 30 to 45 seconds to transcribe. Once I'm done, I can edit my document, add to it, remove words, all by using my voice or my hands. Bold Sally Smith. underline 36 years of age, capitalize Red Lion Pub. Select first paragraph. I can even have Dragon play back my audio. Rather than opening up the audio file in a separate application and having to switch between the applications, between my text and my audio, stopping and starting the recording and listening back to it, I can simply highlight the text that was transcribed here and tell Dragon to play that back. Sally Smith is 36 years of age, period. At the time of the incident, she was working as bar staff at the Red Lion Pub in Bristol, period. New paragraph. And once I've heard my dictation played back, I can make any kind of corrections if necessary or add to my information. So as you can see, I can use Direct Naturally Speaking if I'm at my computer to create my documents and send emails, or even if I'm away from my computer, I can record my dictation so that when I'm back at my computer, I can get my work done productively. Thanks, Amy.
All right. Okay. So I just want to, just really want to wrap it up here, by saying that, the experience that we've had has really shown that the justification for implementing speech recognition is simple. Agencies that purchase Dragon really realized an improved productivity and ROI almost immediately. And when you take the benefits of Dragon and multiply it across dozens, hundreds or even thousands of users enterprise-wide, the cost savings and productivity gains are really going to add up very quickly. And I just want to come back to this slide and again let each of you know that really our goal in presenting this webinar today is that we want to engage you. We want to be able to learn more about your department goals and challenges and really understand your unique workflow so that we can get a sense of how Dragon might better support some of your existing efforts. And then really discuss, some implementation options, including that all-important proof of concept. Again, as I mentioned in the beginning, we know that, potentially showing ROI benefits from a small pilot program, as you saw that some of our other case study members took part in, really can show a long way in improving Dragon's capabilities and also showing department leaders what Dragon can do for you and what the benefits, what benefits you're really going to gain. And then here are some, actually, I apologize. This is the wrong slide in terms of contact information. You can actually either contact myself. I'm Amy Kreth. I'm one of the marketing managers. Melissa Henry is one of our account managers. Unfortunately, John Dixon is actually no longer with us. I apologize for that. But if you contact me directly, I will make sure that I put you in touch with a right member of our sales team who can, go through everything with you. So with that, that really wraps up the formal part of our presentation. Today's presentation was recorded, and a link to that recording will be provided to you via email. And if we didn't get to your question today, we will certainly have somebody reach out and address that to you. And that's going to end our presentation for today. Thank you very much.